wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ariff Hakimi bin Muhammad Ruslan, and I'm from TESL 2A. So today we will be discussing, and by we I mean I will be discussing about my philosophical belief in education. So without further ado, let's take a look. As we all know, education happens to be the basic necessity of every human being. As we all know, as we all do know that gaining education is a never-ending process that must be prioritized by every human being in order for them to overcome and confront the challenging obstacles that the future holds for us, as it is already destined by the Almighty God. For instance, let's take a look at the statistics of the usage of electricity nowadays. Okay, as the years pass on, the usage of electricity is becoming more limited than ever, seeing that human beings, peoples nowadays, such as us, like myself, are finding it difficult to use electricity efficiently. So in order for that to be solved, we, the generations of today, the savior of the future, the people of tomorrow, are responsible of finding that absolute concrete solution to that critical crisis. So therefore, education happens to be the root of success towards every task and occupations in life. So my second step is, how will I reach the diverse, and I mean variety of students from different cultures and different religions in my classroom? Well, the first thing I would do is that I would advise them in pursuing their dreams, and also try to create a harmonic environment between every single one of the students so that they can bond together and make like such a close relationship between one another so that they can accomplish stuff while discussing, negotiating, and exchanging knowledge in order for them to become more knowledgeable than ever. And also, I will use to the best of my ability and all of my efforts to reach the heart of every student in order for them to unleash their inner abilities and hidden talents as their personal guides and aids of guiding them through this challenging life full of obstacles for the coming future. Okay, the method that I would encourage my student in the future of doing so in gaining knowledge is by using student-centered knowledge, which means they study independently with requiring less assistance from the teacher, meaning that the students figure out their own way to solve and accomplish any tasks or experiments, questions given by the teacher as a symbol of testing the knowledge of what they have learned in class during their learning session in class. But the teachers, on the other hand, the teachers also have their important role to play, but their role is to act as a guide. A guide is like they're like the questions given to the students is like a maze, and the teachers play the important role of guiding the students reaching almost till the end of the maze. But once they have almost reached to the end of the maze, the teacher will have to step out and let the students solve it on their own, meaning that the knowledge that they have gained from the teacher and the question, they will use it to manipulate it based on their understandings. So they would create nodes in mind maps sort of shapes, such as bubbles and charts, in order for them to understand based on their understanding, because by doing so, it will encourage the students to become even more sharp and effective when it comes to finding the solution to the question, or what the question wanted for them to solve. My goals for the students is that for them to become knowledgeable people, such as developing new technologies, contraction mechanisms, or whatsoever, and also contributed to the community nowadays, and also the communities of the future. Why? Because nowadays anything can be achievable through technology, as technology came from the seed of an element known as variety of knowledge that is harnessed into one tiny powerful particle element that is so powerful that it could change the world. As Nelson Mandela would say that not gaining knowledge, owning knowledge is the most powerful weapon that can be used to change the world. So meaning that students will have a higher capability of achieving anything they wanted to do or to be in their lives with the help, the aid of knowledge, because anything is possible when you put your mind to it. Let's say, for example, let's take a look at the movie, the famous movie from the year 2008 known as Iron Man, the first ever Iron Man movie. It was casted by Robert Downey Jr. and that movie taught people, especially taught me, it taught me that Tony Stark, when he was a young lad, he was able to create a circuit board at an age so young. If I'm not mistaken, at the age of 5, and at the age of 10 he was able to develop his own engine. And at the age of 15 he pursued his studies, he continued his studies to the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, by creating his first robotic machinery. So in a way, we can see that Tony Stark has accomplished his future dreams by inheriting his father's legacy, which is Stark Industries. The aid of Stark Industries in his life's research is that he was able to conduct and develop all sorts of technology that is known to be beyond our limited imagination, such as hard-light, holographic technologies. He was able to project anything, buildings, objects, environment, with the help of holographic environment. And he was able, in the movie, he was able to develop a suit, a biomechanical suit known as the Iron Man suit. He has Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, and etc. And he was able to contribute so much. We can say he contributed based on the principles of welfare, community service, and also passion, patriotic and passion spirit of the country of the future. At least, I would also bring a global awareness towards my students, meaning that I would expose them to the outside world, and I would define that by exposing them to the outside world is that telling them or make them witness what is happening to the world around us, to the community of the generations, our era, today, right here, right now. For example, we can clearly see that just now, earlier, a few weeks earlier, that the United States President known as Donald Trump just declared that Al-Quds, the Arabic name of Jerusalem, happened to be the capital of the country known as Israel. When on the other hand, that country never should have existed, never ever existed in the first place. So by doing this, students, especially my students, will be able to know what is happening and what should they do in a way of assuring the safety of themselves and also the safety of the community nowadays. As we can see that political views and actions nowadays will bring tons of mass chaos towards the world today. So by doing this, students who have already known and who haven't known about it will be able to connect, to combine ideas, and by combining ideas they will be able to develop strategies of overcoming all of this madness and forming an alliance between one and another. The most important thing is unity in knowledge is the best way of solving any situations. That is all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.